Politics is a dynamic game where success is determined not just by ambition but by strategy, precision, and the ability to connect deeply with people. Victory in elections is not about chance, it's about mastering the elements that shape public opinion and winning their trust. From Donald Trump's resurgence in 2024 with a powerful message to Narendra Modi's masterful use of media in 3 consecutive victories and the undeniable role of money in fueling campaigns globally, to the lessons learned from the Congress party's mistakes in the same year in 2024. Today, we will explore how these pillars define political success and shape the destiny of leaders and nations. Politics is a fascinating world where change, ambition, and hope collide. Many of us think that winning an election is as simple as having a catchy slogan, slick branding, and a pocket full of cash. But let's stop for a moment and ask ourselves, is it really that simple? The truth is, the game of politics is far more complex, layered with emotions, layered with strategies, and the sheer unpredictability of human behavior. Our world is changing rapidly, and politics is no exception. Societies are polarized, voters are unpredictable, and traditional loyalties are fading. Established parties in India and across the world, they have been challenged, sometimes even replaced by newcomers. In this dynamic environment, it's not enough to rest on past glory. A political campaign must constantly innovate and adapt to the evolving aspirations of the people. There are 4 winning factors that we talk about today. They are message, media, money, and making no mistakes. Let's start with the message. A message is not just a slogan, it is the heartbeat of a campaign. It should resonate with the people, connect to their emotions, and answer the most critical question, what's in it for me? Donald Trump's victory in 2024 is a testament to the power of communication and connection. His speeches, especially his victory address, it shows how words can inspire, unite, and motivate people to believe in a shared vision. Donald Trump has always had a unique ability to connect with his audience emotionally, and this speech was no different. He spoke about hope, he spoke about pride, and he spoke about unity. He called this the golden age of America by using phrases like, we are going to fulfill that mission together. He made everyone feel like they were part of something bigger, a shared purpose that they could achieve together. What makes Trump's speeches stand out is their simplicity. He talks about complicated issues in a ways that anyone can understand. His words are direct and relatable. People don't feel overwhelmed. They feel like he understands their problems and has clear solutions. His promises of economic growth and safety, prosperity, they give people a vision of a better future. When he says America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger, it paints a picture of a country everyone wants to live in. He gives credit to the American people for his success, and he uses words like we and us to create a partnership. It's not just about him, it's about everyone working together. By framing his victory as the greatest political comeback, he taps into a powerful story of resilience and perseverance. People admire a fighter, someone who faces challenges head on and comes out of stronger, and Trump embodies that spirit. He spoke about economic growth, emphasizing America's liquid gold, oil and gas as a foundation for prosperity. He tied his leadership to tangible benefits like creating jobs and achieving energy independence, which are the things voters care deeply about. He also thanked his allies, family and campaign team, showing gratitude and loyalty, which added a human touch to his larger-than-life persona. Religious voters found a special connection when Trump said, "God spared my life for a reason." This statement was not just about faith, it was about destiny. It framed his leadership as a mission, making people feel they were part of a divine plan. His humor added a lighter side to his speech. Trump keeps his message simple, ensuring everyone understands it, whether they are from a rural town or a bustling city. He repeats key phrases like, "We will not rest" and "We will deliver," hammering home his commitment. While he appeals strongly to his base, he also calls for national unity and healing, which broadens his appeal. Trump's victory speech is a powerful reminder of how effective communication can drive a political movement. It aligns with people's aspirations, addresses their concern, and gives them a vision they can rally behind. For anyone in leadership or aspiring to make an impact, this is a lesson in how words can inspire action, build trust, and create a lasting legacy. This was not just a speech, it was a call to action, a moment of inspiration. Barack Obama's iconic "Change we can believe in," it didn't just sound good, it captured a collective yearning for hope and transformation. Similarly, in India, we have seen campaigns like "Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar." It struck a chord because they connected with public sentiment. Next comes media. In today's world, media is not just television or newspapers. It's the internet, social platforms, memes, and even WhatsApp forwards. Social media has democratized communication, enabling politicians to connect directly with the electorate. But while it's powerful, it's not everything. Social media can amplify a message, but rarely changes deeply held beliefs. What matters is authenticity. Voters today are sharp. They can smell fake personas from miles away. They may forgive imperfections, but they demand sincerity. Now, let's see the impact of media. The role of Indian media in shaping public opinion and influencing election outcomes. It has become a topic of immense interest, particularly when analyzing the political rise of leaders like Narendra Modi. In a country celebrated as the world's largest democracy, the media often referred to as the fourth pillar. The media has taken on a role that extends far beyond merely informing the public. It has become a powerful tool for political persuasion and narrative control. Over the past decade, the media in India has undergone a transformation that aligns more closely with the interests of the ruling party. Once a platform for diverse perspective and critical analysis, it has increasingly shifted towards propagating a ruling party supported narratives. It is often blurring the lines between governance and political ideology and national solidarity. This shift has not been subtle. It has been deliberate, strategic, and highly effective in swaying public perception. Several factors have contributed to this change. The consolidation of media ownership by individuals and corporations with close ties to the ruling party has led to an environment where critical journalism is not just discouraged, it is actively suppressed. In the name of nationalism, media outlets often present one-sided narratives, This aggressive stance, coupled with sensational reporting, it has created a polarized media landscape where constructive criticism is drowned out by propaganda. The rise of social media has further amplified this phenomena. Platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, and Twitter, they have become breeding grounds for disinformation and fake news. They often spread carefully crafted messages that align with the ruling party's agenda. The Digital India initiative, while laudable for increasing internet accessibility, it has inadvertently fueled this wave of digital propaganda. Geo's affordable data, the plans have ensured that even rural India is not immune to this onslaught of ruling party-centric narratives. One of the most striking examples of media influence was during the 2019 general elections. In the aftermath of the Pulwama attack, the media played a pivotal role in shaping a narrative of nationalism and security, overshadowing critical issues like unemployment, economic slowdown, and social unrest. This strategic focus on nationalism not only galvanized support for Modi, but also stifled meaningful discussion on governance and policy failures. The consequences of this media strategy have been profound. By controlling the narrative, the ruling party has managed to position itself as the sole custodian of India's national identity, effectively marginalizing opposition's voice. The media, once a watchdog of democracy, now functions more like a lapdog, eager to please its political masters. Even Bollywood, traditionally a bastion of cultural diversity, Bollywood has not been spared. Celebrities who once remained apolitical, they are now under pressure to endorse government initiatives. While those who dare to critique, they have to face backlash and professional isolation. This is not to say that all media in India has succumbed to this trend. There are still journalists and outlets that strive to uphold the principles of free and fair reporting. As citizens, it is imperative to recognize the power of media in shaping our beliefs and opinions. A healthy democracy thrives on informed and engaged citizens, not on those swayed by propaganda. The media's role should be to empower the public with accurate information, not to manipulate them for political gain. For India to truly live up to its democratic ideals, it must ensure that its media remains free, fair, and accountable, serving as a beacon of truth rather than a tool for. The third M is money, and yes, money matters. Campaigns require resources to reach every corner of the electorate. But here is the twist. It's not about how much money you have, it is about how wisely you use it. We have seen many campaigns fail despite having enormous budgets because they lacked focus. On the other hand, a well-targeted campaign with limited resources, they can achieve wonders. In India, crowdfunding and grassroots donations, they have begun to play a significant role, showing that people are willing to invest in causes and leaders they believe in. Money is a powerful force in politics, and nowhere is this more evident than in Indian elections. The way money influences campaigns in India has become so extravagant that it often overshadows the real purpose of democracy. Candidates are not just distributing ideas or plans, they are distributing money, they are distributing alcohol and organizing massive rallies. It's like a grand spectacle where the wealthiest often have the loudest voice. In many established democracies, campaigns funding comes from parties or third-party sources like corporations or lobbies. However, in India, it's a different story. Here, political parties depend heavily on the personal wealth of their candidates. This is not just by accident. It is deeply rooted in how candidates are selected and how limited their roles are once elected. Political parties in India, they lack inner democracy. A handful of party elites, they decide policies and distribute party tickets. They are often selling them to the highest bidder. Once elected, anti-defection laws strip legislators of independent power, making them mere puppets in the hands of party bosses. This means candidates cannot rely on external funding or party resources. They must finance their campaigns themselves. Naturally, this system favors the wealthy. Over the years, the rise of wealthy candidates, it has been staggering. To put this into perspective, in 2014, the median candidate's wealth was 27 times India's per capita income. This growing wealth gap between candidates and the general population creates a dangerous disconnect. Why is this a problem? First, it limits political opportunities to a small affluent section of society, excluding most citizens from participating in governance. Second, it shifts the focus from candidates' quality like education or public service to how much money they can bring to the table. Third, and most troubling, it encourages corruption. If candidates see elections as an investment, they will look for ways to recover their cost once in office. These wealthy candidates, once elected, they rarely focus on representing their constituents. Instead, they align themselves with the party elites who control the real power. For voters, this creates a situation where their elected representatives don't truly represent their voices. If we want to restore balance to our democracy, we must rethink how campaigns are funded and how candidates are selected. Campaign finance reform is essential to reduce the influence of wealth in politics. Fourth one, there is making no mistakes. Even the most brilliant campaigns can be derailed by poor timing, bad research, or inconsistent messaging. In India, we have seen leaders lose public trust because of ill-planned statements or tone-deaf actions. Every detail matters. Politics is a game of strategy, trust, and timing. It is a reflection of human ambition and the desire to lead. Yet, even the best intentioned efforts can falter when mistakes are made. The 2024 Lok Sabha elections in India, they offer a powerful lesson in how small mistakes they can shape monumental outcomes. They remind us that in politics, every decision matters and every mistake carries weight. Congress entered the elections with renewed energy. It had worked tirelessly to rebuild its image, to connect with people and to forge alliances. Yet, despite these efforts, the party fell short. Why? Because in politics, having good intentions is not enough. The lack of a unified opposition strategy showed that alliances must be more than just agreements on paper. Without a shared vision and coordination, even the strongest coalition can crumble. Congress and its allies failed to present a united front and voters could sense the disunity. The party also struggled to rebuild its grassroots network, especially key states like Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Politics happens on the ground, not in speeches or manifesto alone. A strong organization is the backbone of any political movement. Congress had the energy and the ideas, but it didn't have the machinery to turn them into votes. Leadership gaps and inconsistent strategies, they cost it dearly in regions where the BJP remained formidable. Economic issues like unemployment and inflation, they were central to the campaign, but Congress couldn't counter the BJP's narrative effectively. Politics is not just about pointing out problems, it is about convincing people that you can solve their problems. The BJP's focus on welfare programs like direct benefit transfers and subsidized essentials, they resonated deeply with voters. Congress raised valid concerns but couldn't match the emotional connection BJP created through its actions and promises. Religious polarization played a significant role, and Congress found itself caught between appealing to secular values and responding to the BJP's Hindutva narrative. In politics, clarity of message is everything. When voters sense hesitation or mixed signals, trust weakens. The BJP's strong and consistent messaging contrasted sharply with Congress' attempts to strike balance and made a difference. Even the alliances Congress did manage to form were not enough. Partnerships are powerful in politics, but they must be meaningful and strategic. Congress forged ties with regional parties like Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party, but in key states like West Bengal, it failed to collaborate effectively with Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress. Politics is about finding common ground even with those who might seem like rivals for the greater good. The BJP's campaign machinery also set a benchmark. Their organizational strength, coupled with Narendra Modi's leadership, they demonstrated the importance of preparation and execution. Modi's personal brand, even in states where the BJP faced challenges, it was a unifying factor. Congress underestimated the power of a well-oiled campaign mission, and it paid the price. Mistakes can undermine months of hard work, so precision and discipline are non-negotiable. Politics is not just about winning elections, it's about shaping our future. A campaign is not merely a power grab, it's a promise to serve, a promise to listen, and a promise to act. The dynamism of today's politics open up opportunities for genuine change. In India, where democracy thrives amidst diversity, every campaign is a reflection of the people's voice and aspirations. Mistakes in politics are not just lessons for parties, they are lessons for all of us. They remind us of the importance of strategy, unity, and understanding the people we aim to serve. Congress defeat in 2024 was not for lack of effort, it was a result of missing the finer details, underestimating the opponent's strength, and failing to align its vision with the needs of the people. In politics, something like in life, in politics, mistakes are inevitable. What matters is how we learn from them, how we rise from setbacks, and how we prepare for the battles ahead. Congress journey in 2024 is a story of effort, resilience, and lessons learned. It is a reminder that every mistake is an opportunity to grow stronger, to plan better, and to fight harder. At the end of the day, political success is not achieved by the chance, but by mastering the art of influence and the science of strategy. Message, media, money, and making no mistakes, they are the compass guiding leaders towards victory. Donald Trump's 2024 triumph showed us the power of a message that resonates. Narendra Modi's successive victories highlighted how media amplifies influence. The undeniable role of money in campaigns ensures reach and scale, while the Congress party's defeat reminds us that even a well-fought campaign can crumble under the weight of mistakes. Together, these lessons remind us that leadership is not just about winning elections, it is about earning trust, delivering on promises, and leading with purpose. Let us take inspiration from these stories, learn from the victories, and learn from the setbacks, and remember that the real measure of success is not just winning, but using the victory to make a meaningful difference. Thank you. Thank you so much.